What's up everybody, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to discuss about multi-level inheritance in Python. Now in the previous videos we discussed about multiple inheritance in Python, where we had made three classes: the class employee, then we had made the player class, and then the cool employee class. In the cool employee class we had inherited employee and the player class, and with the help of that we could access the functions inside the player class and in the employee class. So we could have just made an object of the cool employee, and after that we could have accessed the functions and their attributes. So we had also talked about this sequence, that why it is important to write it in this manner, and what is the importance of this sequence. And I hope that you guys understood everything I talked about in my previous videos. So now I'm going to make a new Python file right here, and I'll name this Python file as oops10. So I'll name it oops10, and after that I am zooming in, and what I'll do is that basically I'll just create a class, and I'll give you an example that shows about multi-level inheritance in Python. So I think so this example will be suitable for multi-level inheritance, but let's check it out. So I'll make a class named dad. I'll write dad, and after that I won't inherit into it. Then I'm going to write pass, and after that I'm going to make a new class, and I'll name this class as son. Now son is going to inherit all of the traits from dad, so I'm going to write dad, and after that I'm going to write pass inside it as well. And then I'm going to make another class, and I'll name this as grandson. So I'll write grandson, and grandson is inheriting all of the traits from son. So I'm going to write son, and after that I'm going to write pass. So as you can see guys, that I made a kind of a real life hierarchy right here, that there's a dad, and after that he has a son, and then the son has a son that's known as the grandson to the dad. And basically this is how inheritance works in real life as well, is that if there's a son, he is going to get the traits from his dad, and if there's a grandson, he is going to get the traits from his son. So that's how the inheritance works in real life as well. And this is basically multi-level inheritance. We can sort of even make arrows from dad to son, and after that son to grandson, in order to just justify the multi-level inheritance. And I hope that you guys understood this step. So after this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make three objects with respect to these classes. So I'm going to name this object as Sid. So Sid is a dad, and after that, for example, if Lewis, he is the grandson, so I'm going to write grandson. And for example, I'll have to write a son as well. So Ansh is the son, so I'm going to write Ansh is equal to son. And I hope that you guys understood this step. So after this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make three objects with respect to these classes. So I'm going to name this object as Sid. So Sid is a dad, and after that, for example, if Lewis, he is the grandson, so I'm going to write grandson. And for example, I'll have to write a son as well. So Ansh is the son, so I'm going to write Ansh is equal to son, and son, and Ansh is equal to son. And after that, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make some variables inside these classes. So I'm going to write, for example, football is equal to 1. That is true. That is the dad, he used to play football in his high school days, and he was really good at it. So I hope that you guys know 1 means true in Python and 0 means false. So 1 is for true. And now what I'm going to do is that I am similarly going to make an attribute for son. So for example, if the son was good at painting, so I'm going to write painting is equal to 1, and I'm going to write true right here as well. And after that, I'm going to write the number of paintings he has painted. So I'm going to write number of paintings, and he has painted, for example, 15 paintings in his life. So I'm going to write 15, and I'm just going to remove this pass right here because now it doesn't make any sense. And after that, I'll just define a function inside son that returns the number of paintings that he has painted. So I'll write define, and number of paint, and after that I'm just going to put a self, and then I'm going to return an f string. So these many paintings, or I'm going to write self dot number of paintings are the number of paintings I have painted in my career. So I'm just going to write this statement, that is these are the number of paintings I have painted in my career. And similarly, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a new variable for the grandson. So I'm going to copy this number of paintings, and after that I'm going to just paste it right here. So grandson, he has made, for example, 10 paintings, so I'm going to write 10. And now I'll also remove the pass. So now we have basically made some attributes and functions inside these classes, and now I'll use it. So if, for example, if I'll print sid dot football, then as you can see that it will print 1. If I run this program, it has printed 1 right here, as you can see that. And after this, for example, if I run unch, and I can also run football for unch. So I can run football because it is inheriting everything from the dad, because as you can see that my unch object, it is an object instance for the son class, and son class, it's basically inheriting every attribute and every function from the dad class. So football is equal to 1 will be inside son, so we'll be able to access that variable as well. So if I run this program, as you can see that it has printed 1. And for example, if the son, he did not play any football, so what I can do is that I can override this variable. I can write football is equal to 0 inside sun. And as you can see that my PyCharm ID, it is giving me an up arrow. That means that it has overwritten the attribute in dad. And now, for example, if I run it, as you can see that it will print 0 right here. So that's how, guys, this overwriting of variables and functions work. And I hope that you guys know that we can also override functions. So for example, that I can copy this function, and after that I can put it inside the grandson. And then what I can do is that I can write I am a grandson. So I'm just changing the string right here that it is going to return. And after that I can use this function. So I can say Louis, and after that Lewis dot number of paint. And then I'm going to run this program. As you can see that it has printed I am a grandson, 10 are the number of paintings I have painted in my career. And after that I can run it for unch. But in unch, as you can see that it will use this function, like it won't print I am the grandson, but it will just print this statement right here. So if I run this program, as you can see that it has printed 15 other number of paintings I have painted in my career. So that's how multi-level inheritance works. I'll also tell you how my program, it goes from one class to another class in the search of a variable. So for example, when I write unch, I'll write Lewis.football. When I write Lewis.football, and when I run this program, as you can see that it has printed 0. Now why has it printed 0? Because when I wrote Lewis.football, my program, it went to the grandson class, because Lewis is basically an instance of this class. And after that it saw into this class that does it have any variable named football. If it does not have, I'll go to son class, and after that it will search it right here that does it have any football instance variable right here. And if it does not have, that is, if I comment this out, it will go to the dad class, because my son is basically inheriting every attribute and function from the dad class. So it will go inside this dad class, and after that it will search for the football attribute, and once it gets it, it will print 1. So if I run this program again, as you can see that it won't give me an error, and it has printed 1. So I hope, guys, that you understood everything about multi-level inheritance. Now I cannot run the number of paint function by using the sid object right here, because my dad class, it cannot access the functions number of paint, and after that number of paintings and painting variable, because he's not inheriting anything, but he's providing a variable named football to the others. So if I run sid.football, I'll run sid.number of paintings, so number of paints. And if I put a bracket right here, and if I run it, as you can see that it will give me an error. It will show me that dad object has no attribute of number of paint, and he does not have the attribute number of paints. So now I have a quiz for you guys, and I hope that you guys understood this multi-level inheritance and how it works. So I hope, guys, that you understood about this amazing example that I've given right here about dad, son and grandson. And I hope that you guys understood the concept of multi-level inheritance in Python. Now I'm going to give you a quiz right here, and I'll just comment everything out, because I also need to give you a source code. Now guys, in this quiz, what you have to do is that you'll have to make 3 classes. So these 3 classes are, for example, I'll write old PC. Old PC is one class, and you won't have to make a space, so it will be old underscore PC. And after that, for example, if we have PC and then we have supercomputer, so I'll write supercomputer. So these are the three classes that you have to make, and you have to apply multiple inheritance in that, not multi-level inheritance that we learned right now. You have to apply multiple inheritance that we learned in our previous videos. And guys, if you have forgot about these concepts, you can go on to the video again and you can watch it for your own sake, because I think so that any person, if he has forgotten about concepts, he can definitely go to that video and he can look at it. There is no law that you have to watch a video only once, and if you watch it twice you are dumb. No guys, you can watch the video again. And I hope that you guys solve this quiz and write it down in the comment section below, so that I can discuss it with you in the next video. So I hope guys that you understood everything about today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you haven't accessed my Python for Absolute Beginners playlist, the link will be in the description. Hope you're safe, and I'll see you next time.